Should you invest in NFTs?
NFTs are really a game changer.
Stupid cartooning, unoriginal.
It's also sold for $69 million.
Beeple, who's now the third most valuable living artist.
Until recently, the most Beeple had sold a print of his artwork for was $100. In March this year, Christie's, the famous auction house, sold an NFT of his art titled The First 5,000 Days for $69.3 million. Now, Christie's is a world-renowned auction house. They sold very prestigious artwork.
Leonardo da Vinci, the Salvator Mundi, at $400 million.
So what's with the sudden interest in Beeple's unusual NFT art? And what even is an NFT? NFT stands for non-fungible token. Non-fungible basically just means it represents an item that is unique and irreplaceable. A dollar bill is fungible as it's clearly not unique. Millions are printed each day. When you purchase an NFT, it gives you rights to unique ownership of a digital item. So how are NFTs unique? Take the CryptoPunks for example. CryptoPunks are basically small pixelated digital characters. If you look at them, come on, let's be honest, there's nothing special about them at all. But people are spending stupid amounts of money to own these things. For example, the owner of CryptoPunk, the number is 6046, was offered just under $10 million and he declined it. Many people hear about rich guys offering millions for tiny pixelated pieces of digital artwork and they don't understand it. They struggle to understand why someone would want to pay so much for something like this. I mean, if you want the thing so badly, you could just screenshot it, couldn't you? So what exactly is the appeal? Well, let's take another example. Like I mentioned earlier, Christie's sold Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi for $450 million. It's obviously a lot of money, but for most people this kind of sale is less ridiculous because we're used to hearing about famous paintings by artists being sold for these amounts, usually by artists that died a long time ago. So let me ask you a question. What if I 3D printed an exact replica of the Mona Lisa? How much would you pay for it? Probably not very much. I bet you'd be a lot more willing to shell out a lot more cash for the original. But why is that? It's a replica, right? So it looks exactly like the original. So why don't you value it as much? And that's because the sale of art isn't just about visual appeal and skill. It's also about uniqueness and prestige. People like the idea of owning the original, the one Leonardo himself painted, so they pay millions for it. It's a very similar concept with NFT art. Most people, including myself, struggle to understand why someone would pay millions for a CryptoPunk or $65 million for a collage of Beeple's strange digital artwork. Again, if you want the thing so bad, why don't you just screenshot it? Just like the Mona Lisa, it's a matter of prestige. There are a lot of very wealthy people that would love to own the original. Okay, so you get the point now. There's prestige, whatever. But are NFTs useful in any way? Well, the thing is, NFTs aren't just useful for owning digital art, memes, Jack Dorsey's tweet, or CryptoPunks. They can be used to own basically anything from a house to a passport or a car. Why is this important anyway? I can own these things already, right? Because of the underlying technology that NFTs are built on, which is blockchain technology, by the way. They're basically impossible to steal with today's technology. If you pay up the right amount of ether, then you become the undisputed owner of whatever property or asset that the NFT backs. So let's say, for example, you buy a house backed by an NFT, then it becomes extremely difficult for someone else to claim that they own the house because the blockchain stores a record of all the previous owners of the house. And of course, the blockchain is decentralized, which means there are multiple copies of it stored on computers across the world. So if someone wanted to invalidate your claim to your house, it wouldn't be enough to hack the blockchain on a single computer. You'd have to hack probably millions of computers. You become the undisputed owner of the house at the click of a button without having to involve a solicitor or any other middleman. But why would anyone want to invest in NFT art or memes today? By now, you've probably heard of the metaverse.
Metaverse.
The metaverse.
Metaverse.
The metaverse and NFTs and cryptocurrency.
We think of it as a human co-experience category.
What the heck is the metaverse anyway?
To put it simply, the metaverse is thought to be the next generation of the internet. It's an attempt to turn the internet from its present two-dimensional form into a 3D world like our own, where say, if you have a friend that lives 1,000 miles away and you'd like to talk to them, instead of having to send them a text or have a video call with them, you could invite them into your virtual room and you would feel as if your friend is physically present with you in your room. Well, many people speculate that as we start to spend more time in the metaverse, then we'll start to place greater importance on digital property. If you spend a lot of time chilling in your virtual house, then maybe you'd want to decorate the walls with some nice digital paintings. Or if you're into fashion, maybe you'd like to wear nice virtual clothes to look presentable. Now, this may seem pretty childish to some people, as if you're obsessing over dressing up your Fortnite or your Roblox avatar. But if you imagine a future where the virtual world becomes mega realistic, just as realistic as the real world, then your experiences inside the virtual world would feel just as real as your experiences in the real world. So if you decide to meet with a friend across the world in your virtual room, or if you want to have an interview at a new job, it would make a lot of sense that you'd put just as much effort into your virtual appearance as you would your real appearance. NFTs form a reliable record of private ownership of digital assets, which essentially brings capitalism into the metaverse. Naturally, some people have started investing in NFTs in the hope that they'll become more important in the metaverse and in the future in general, which means their demand will rise, their price will rise, and they can be flipped for a nice profit. So is it worth investing in NFTs then? Well, I don't know, you tell me. I guess it's a pretty vague question. It's almost like saying, is it worth investing in things? Some things will grow in value more than others. It's really just down to you to do your research and you to invest your money in whatever you think may be worthwhile.